So I'm going to be doing another one soon about Janet Jackson, but I thought I would touch on this one. Janet Jackson turned down the Neptunes' "I'm a Slave for You" song, which was a huge hit for Britney Spears. And of course, you remember the snake around her neck and that whole era when Britney was huge. You know, you go through 98 through about '04 was peak prime Britney Spears. 98 through about 98 to about '03, she could do no wrong on the charts. Janet Jackson at the time was kind of in the dip. This was right before the Super Bowl came. She was kind of in the dip because All For You and all that it came out, but she didn't quite have it. That she had her last peak in prime probably with Velvet Rope. That was like the near the end of that. And though All For You had hit, the '90s was like her last major, what I say, prime and peak. So interestingly, she turned down "I'm a Slave for You," which Pharrell and Chad did for her. Now, that's very much Minneapolis. That's very much Nasty Girl in the vein of Vanity Six with Prince and that whole thing with the stripped down, minimalistic groove and the kick. That was all there. But then again, I can understand why Janet Jackson didn't do it because maybe the title was offensive, but also the musicality of it. She had already done that with Jamie Lewis, with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. You know, you could say that with Janet Jackson already covered those Minneapolis streets in the peak and the prime with her Control album, Rhythm Nation album. So she already touched on those waters. She really didn't have to go back and do what Britney had to do at the start of her career because Janet had already done that. So how would it have sounded with Janet doing? Well, with her risque imagery and what she was doing at the time, it would have fit in, but then it would have almost been kind of cartoonish at the time because she had done so much of over exemplifying that imagery and that facade that it probably would have almost been chuckle at an extent. The groove did work because it complemented Britney Spears' tone, so it was the right track at the right time. You know, you don't have to be a deep Whitney Houston deep vocalist to make that thing work if you understand about being a stylist. And if you can keep the key and you keep the groove, you're good. You know. Ironically though, I remember reading in an interview that Britney Spears said she was tired of doing Neptunes based songs and she was tired of Neptunes. But that was like one of the songs that took her to another level. Like that was a big time song. So I can't imagine you biting off the fingers that's feeding you, especially when that was a huge hit. And then the imagery at the Video Music Awards and everything that hit with that, that was one of your biggest songs. Because actually, if you have a debate with some people who are Britney Spears fans, that's one of their top five songs. That one is always debatable with Toxic. I like Toxic a little bit more because of the whimsical James Bond s type of strut of the keyboards and the groove of it. But "I'm a Slave for You" is one of those big songs for it. So interestingly, and of course she's been comparable to Janet. Obviously Michael Jackson was a big influence. So it all depends on how you look at it in totality and where you put it in context and everything. So I think that it went to the right artistry. I think that it was done in the right, for the tone and the feel. Um, in hindsight, I couldn't have seen Janet Jackson doing it. But I thought Britney Spears did it justice. I thought that it was like where it was supposed to be and, with everything with that. So anyway, please tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think it went to the right artist or do you think Janet should have kept it to herself? Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another and share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. True. I'm out. Peace.